Baba says that in Bhakti Marg we wrote stories about how impurity and sorrow existed in every yuga. So we said that along with Ram there was Ravan, along with Krishna there was Kans, Jarasandhi and other devils. So, and then we also write that the actions of all the deities were impure. Yes, we show them engaging in impure acts. We write such things about God also. And Baba says that as are you, so is your creation. So whatever you write, whatever scriptures you create are a reflection of your state of being. And since there is impurity in us, which starts becoming part of us from the copper age, so we obviously then, with that impure vision, we write about impurity everywhere. So we project that impurity which is inside into our creation. And you see that this is how impurity gets multiplied. Yes, so you see, this is a very interesting thing. So once I went to a school and I was just telling them that when you say that one child is very disturbing or very irritable, yes, irritating. So teachers many times use this language, this child is very irritating or this child is very disturbing. But what is the truth? The truth is that you are disturbed, you are irritated, and then you project it onto the child. That this child is irritating or this child is disturbing. Yes, so whatever, so you see, thoughts and feelings are our creation. And they are a creation, that creation is in alignment with your sanskar and your state of being. So whatever you create in you as a thought or a feeling, the reason for it is basically your state of being and your sanskar. But then you project it onto the other, and then whatever you create reflects that. So whether you write a scripture or you speak a word or you label somebody or you think about somebody, you're projecting your own state of mind onto them. And then you say that they were like this, or this one is like this, or that one was like that. So all our creation is basically a reflection of the creator. So if I am the creator of a story, a novel, a scripture, or I am the creator of the words I speak to somebody, the thoughts I create about somebody, or the behavior I engage in with somebody. So when I, the creator, am not in my best state, then whatever I create, that is a projection of my depleted state. And then what happens is, since there is no knowledge, so when you project something that is inside you into something concrete outside, whether it is a scripture, whether it is a label, whether it is a word you speak to somebody. So when you project it in action, then the other people around you, they pick on it. Yes, they pick on it, and they imbibe it, and they start behaving according to it. So this is how everything gets multiplied in from copper age to iron age. So let's say somebody tells a child that you are irritating, then the child picks it up, and then the child thinks that I am irritating, and then that becomes his consciousness, and then he starts engaging in irritating behavior. So he starts thinking in an irritable way, speaking in an irritable way, because he picks on it. Because there is no awareness that this is a projection of the one who is speaking, not, this is not me, this is they and their sanskar who are speaking. So similarly, you see, when a scripture is written and people say that, this is how God is, or this is how Satyug was, or this is how Ram Rajya was, then the one who reads it starts thinking that this is the truth. And then you start thinking that if this was the condition in the age of the deities also, then how can it be better today? So you get a sense of helplessness, that it was always like this, it was always impure, it was always impure karma, it was always a sorrowful state. And then what happens is your intellect gets stunted, because your intellect is not able to think beyond sorrow. So you are always reading stories about how sorrow and unhappiness and peacelessness and impurity was part of every age. Then you think that this is the universal truth. It is everywhere, it is there in history, it is everywhere all around you, and also it is there in the time that you read about. So then you just cannot think about a time when everything was peaceful and happy. And if you can't think about something, how can you create it? Yes, so you see, it is said sankalp se srishti. So thought is the seed of your, this whole world. So whatever is there in this whole world was created with a thought. And this is why so sometimes you see in the scriptures there are some things which are written right, and it is said that Brahma created this srishti with a sankalp. So Brahma created this world with a thought, but they don't know that they don't know who gave that thought to Brahma. So the ocean of knowledge, Shiv Baba, when he comes, he gives this thought to Brahma and we Brahma Kumars, Kumaris, that this world is not how or was not how it is portrayed to you. It was a very happy, divine, pure, peaceful world. And you lived with absolute purity. There was no trace of impurity in you. There was no trace of vice in you. And when you start thinking about it, then you start emerging those sanskars of purity in you. So these are, so Baba says this, that you see, whatever we speak or we create is a projection of our inner state. And when that state is depleted, then the creation we create is also very depleted. And then that creation spreads in the environment like a vibration, and also it affects other souls around us, the nature around us, because they also pick on that energy and they start becoming like that. So we have always been creators. So when we are body conscious, we slowly, gradually create this world of impurity. And you see that anybody, I remember there was this one brother, he came to the center and he said that I don't believe that anybody can be a yogi. So everybody is just, an imposter. So everybody is just pretending to be a yogi, and I don't believe that anybody can be a yogi. So I said, yes, you don't believe it today, but once you become a yogi, you will believe it. So he said that, but when I don't believe it, how can I become? So I said, you have to try. You have to suppose that you can be a yogi and then try it. And when you become a yogi, then you can see, you have that faith that everybody can be a yogi, because you only see and think as you are. If you think that other people will only cheat you because you have the possibility to cheat everybody, so you think that other people can cheat you. So these are the things. So you see, if somebody is thinking about, the 100 ways of how other people can cheat me all day, that means that when you are involved in every interaction, the first thought that comes to you is, how can I cheat this person? How can I take advantage? This is why you're always thinking about how other people can cheat you. So Baba says that this is how, we are projecting our inner states onto the external world. And just think about a scenario where somebody has come to help you, but you are constantly creating these thoughts about, how this person can cheat me, and you're also using words which reflect your inner emotion. And then what happens is, that person who had come with a very noble intention, their intentions also change because you make them like you. So this is the thing, that I have seen, in relationships, if you're very insecure, then you keep projecting that insecurity onto the other. Yes, you make a very little thing a big deal, and you will question another person's integrity and hurl abuses at that person and do stuff which is very undignified. And then when you keep doing that, then that other person also starts behaving in a manner which will give you more insecurity. So this is how we are multiplying this impurity in the world. So Baba says that you have to understand how this world became impure from pure, and now again you have to start doing the opposite. You have to start remembering me and becoming like me, and then speaking, thinking, seeing like me, and then create the world which is there in my vision. Yes, so Baba says, now don't exchange energy in this world. Don't absorb energy from this world. So just have Buddhi Yoga with me, think like me. So Baba says, make a promise that you only listen to me, only see me, only talk to me, only remember me. And when you do that, then I will have an influence on you. And when I have an influence on you, then you start thinking like me, believing like me, seeing like me, talking like me, acting like me. And then other people will pick on that also. And then you will create a world which is the opposite of what it is today. So this is why Baba says that I come from the soul world to teach you how to have Buddhi Yoga with me. Because you see that when we have Buddhi Yoga with an impure world and we with body conscious souls, what do we become? We become more and more body conscious. We absorb the vices that are there in each one, and we also become a bundle of vices. So Baba says that now, in order to change this whole world, what you have to do is first unplug your Buddhi Yoga from the people and things around you and plug into me. And always think about me, remember me, and whenever you do anything, be in my canopy. Remember what I speak, absorb my vibration and act with that. So, do you do that? Do you do everything in Baba's remembrance? And Baba says that while eating, sleeping, walking, talking, working, so while doing everything, stay in my remembrance. And you see that in the world, we go to school and we learn a language. Yes, so first thing we learn is a language, and we learn about what is what, who is who, and other stuff, and we learn all of that, but nobody teaches us what to speak. Yes, they teach you the language, but they don't teach you what to speak or how to speak. Yes, and then how to think, what to think is something that we never thought about. And even beyond thinking, the most important thing that Baba teaches us is whose remembrance are you in, or whose awareness are you in. Yes, and I remember there was this one Kumar, and he was in Seva in center, and then whatever he did, he was making mistakes. Yes, so if he did anything, set a carpet also, he would make mistakes, or he would set the chairs also, he would make mistakes. So then I asked him, what is the matter? What is in your heart? Who are you thinking about? So then he said, how do you know I'm thinking about somebody? So I said, you can only be this body conscious if you're thinking about a human being. So he said, yes, I'm thinking about my father who I fought with before, leaving home. So that is going on in my mind, and this is why I'm not in my best state. And then I said, no, you call him and you talk to him. What is there? So you see, he's a father and he will definitely talk to you. So just call him and talk to him. So he called him and he talked to him, and then it was all good. And then he didn't make mistakes. He was okay. So you see that awareness has such a big impact. Just think about when you are in remembrance of something that somebody said which was rude, impolite, or something, and then the kind of thoughts you have, and the kind of words you speak, and the kind of behavior you engage in that moment, and then how much you regret it later. Yes, so what you remember while you are in action is very important. And Baba says that, even thoughts can be counted. Thoughts also, they are finite, but remembrance is very infinite. You're continuously in remembrance, and whether you call it remembrance, whether you call it awareness, it is very important to check whose awareness are you in. And Baba teaches us the very mool mantra, so the most foundation, the most, the foundation of all our life is remembrance or awareness. And Baba says that do everything in my remembrance. So whenever you are eating, eat in my remembrance, because you see, you may be eating very pure sattvic food, yes, but if you are eating it in anger, then what will the food do to you? Yes, so you have to eat in Baba's remembrance, you have to cook in Baba's remembrance, you have to talk in Baba's remembrance, because you see that when you talk in Baba's remembrance, only then can you talk, then can you speak the words which are worthy of speaking. Otherwise, you speak the words which are worthy of correcting. So that which needed to be corrected is already spoken. So Baba says it is very important that and Baba comes from the soul world to teach us this skill of remembrance. Yes, this very big teaching of how to remember Baba. This is what Baba comes to give us. And Baba says, in all moments of the day, right from the time you open your eyes until you go to sleep, just stay in awareness that you are a soul and you're with Baba. And anybody's company keeps coloring you, provided you are in awareness of it. Yes, think about if you are in the physical company of your physical father all day, your Lokik father, then how would your behavior and thoughts and actions be? Of course, he can't see your thoughts, so how will your words and actions be? They will be different. They will be different from how they will be when he is not around. So Baba says, when you are in conscious remembrance of me, I give you company and I color your feelings, your thoughts, your attitudes, your actions. And I remember, there was this one time when I was talking to somebody, and then they were talking very rudely, and then I had this thought that I can just give them a plain answer. And then suddenly I remembered Baba, and my whole attitude changed. It was a very, some things you remember that in that moment, that whole attitude changed. And I remembered that no, I'm not here to settle scores. I'm here to, give something that I received from Baba to this soul. And then, despite they being rude, I was very polite. And then, after few moments, they changed suddenly, and I could see that their behavior was all of a sudden very changed. And I could not even believe that this was the same person who was talking so rudely few minutes ago. And you see that this is the wonder. When you do everything in Baba's remembrance, then you are insulated from the influence of the impurity of the outer world. And that impurity doesn't influence your feelings, your behavior, your actions. And also, you see, you are able to engage in actions which Baba wants you to engage in. So Baba says that this awareness, this state of remembrance is very important all day. But this is a tapasya, and it doesn't happen by just listening to the class. You have to practice it. Yes, every time you forget Baba, you have to again, bring him into your awareness. And sometimes you think that you're very busy, and because you're busy, you can't remember Baba. But if you're very busy, you will accumulate stress and tiredness and other stuff. But if you do everything in Baba's remembrance, you will be getting charged while doing everything. And you see, Janki Dadiji used to always say that those who speak a lot, they get tired. But those who speak a lot in Baba's remembrance, they become more peaceful. Yes, so if you speak in Baba's remembrance all day, then you don't get tired, you get more peaceful. And if you work all day in Baba's remembrance, that work doesn't take a toll on you. That work also recharges you. So it is necessary to note that the awareness in which you do things is more important than what you do, because you may be, you may be doing something which is physically very strenuous, but if you do it in the remembrance of the ocean of peace, then it will relax you. And if you do it with the burden of I have to do it and I am doing it, then it will create a lot of stress inside you. So Baba says that this is why I have come here. So Baba has come to teach us Raj Yoga, and Raj Yoga means that the art of doing everything in Baba's remembrance. And today Baba also talks about being Trikal Darshi. And what is being Trikal Darshi? So Baba says that I have given you Divya Buddhi. So do you ever think about how you can see the soul which you can't see with the two eyes? Yes, so all BKs, when you come to Baba, you are able to experience the soul, right? And you are able to experience Baba, which is, do you understand that sannyasis have left homes and sat in jungles and meditated for years together, and they are not able to experience the soul like you do? Do you understand that? That you are able to experience yourself as a soul in a way that a sannyasi who has spent 30 years, 40 years of his life in the jungle is not able to. So, how do you experience that? You don't experience it with your own effort. You experience it as a gift. And that is the gift of the Divya Buddhi. And I will tell you one thing. There was one interesting question that somebody asked me once. They asked, how did you learn to meditate? And how did you learn to experience the soul and God? And I just got very lost in thinking about it, because I really don't know when that happened. Because you see, I remember that I used to listen to the class. I remember I read the Murli. I remember I was trying to remember Baba. I was trying to be soul conscious. But how it happened, I don't know. So when you start feeling yourself as a soul or experiencing yourself as a soul, you don't even remember that day, or you don't even remember when you started experiencing Baba's presence, but it just happens. And whenever you belong to Baba and you take baby steps according to what he says, he gives you that gift, the gift of the divine intellect. And you're not only able to see yourself, you're not only able to see Baba, but you're also able to see how the world was in Satyug, and you are able to create an image of it. You are able to create an image of the soul world, which is very interesting, because how can you create an image of the soul world without seeing it? Or how can you create an image and experience Satyug without physically going there? But you can do all of this, and every Brahmin can do it. And I remember when for the first time I saw a video of the soul world, then I was very surprised that how is this soul world exactly the same as I visualize in meditation. So I said, who created this? So they said, this is a BK who created it. So I said, but how can how can the visual be the same? So it's the same. So you see, how are all BKs going and reaching that experience of the soul world, and they are in complete, consonance with each other. It's not like somebody says, no, the soul world was something different when I saw it. No, it is the same with everyone. And Baba says that I give you this Divya Buddhi through which you experience all of this. And I will also tell you one very interesting thing that I experienced, that when we started Seva online, then I always felt that, you cannot feel vibrations online. And I felt that, even if I conduct a class online, they will not be able to feel the vibrations, or they will not be able to connect with Baba. But I was absolutely wrong, and that happened. And children who were sitting far away, they experienced vibration through, this online thing, and they felt that they could, they could feel everything online. And this is a gift from Baba. And I remember there was one sister, and I really liked her, and she is doing service in foreign country. And I had this desire that I should meet her once. And the next day I was listening to a class online from her, and I felt Baba's drishti through the eyes, even in the online class. And when I felt that, I could feel goosebumps all over my body, and it happened with this medium. And then I wrote a letter to her that, I felt Baba's drishti through you in that class. And it was way back. It was when I was listening to a class on the internet, on YouTube. And these are certain things which have made me wonder how Divya Buddhi works. So, this Divya Buddhi, and Divya Buddhi is also the source of power. So, you can connect. You see, people say that in order to exchange vibrations, you need to be in physical contact. Yes, but you are having Buddhi Yoga with the one who is in the soul world, and you are able to draw powers from that one. So how is that happening? That is happening through Divya Buddhi. So Baba is there in the soul world, and you are able to absorb all the powers, virtues from Baba, and become like Baba. So this is an aspect of Divya Buddhi. And Divya Buddhi is a gift from Baba. And with this Divya Buddhi, you are able to receive, you are able to give. If you want, you also want to, give Sakash. So how do you nourish the whole world with your vibrations? How do you do Mansa Seva? How do you do service through the mind? It's through the Divya Buddhi. Because it's not possible to serve the whole world, which is, far and wide, with this limited consciousness. So when you know that you can do it, and Baba gives you the Divya Buddhi for it, you are able to do it. So Baba says this Divya Buddhi is a gift. And then Baba says that with this Divya Buddhi, you become Trikal Darshi. You are able to see the past, present and future, and with this Divya Buddhi. And Baba says that when you engage, when you create any thought, you don't do it with a limited, with a limited intellect, that you are only thinking stuff that gives you result in the moment or in the present time. But now you are Trikal Darshi, Now when you create a thought, you think about the past, present and future implications of this thought, or when you perform an action, you think about the past, present and future implication of that action. So let's say, earlier we used to say that a thought came to me. Yes, so now do thoughts come to you? Even if they come to you and you're not conscious in creating it, even then you check, if I put this thought into action, what will be the result? And before putting it into action, you have to check and change it in alignment with your knowledgeful state. Yes, so even if you feel like, even if you feel like wasting your time, yes, so you feel lazy, but you know that this 1 second has implications on your whole future. So then you don't waste it, you don't come into action with it, because now you know the value of 1 second in Sangam Yuga. So Baba says that one thing is that even if you are not conscious while creating it, you are conscious while putting a thought into action. And second thing is, now you understand that thoughts don't come to you, you create them. So now you take the responsibility of creating a thought which is in alignment with the future you want to create. Because now you're knowledgeful, you know what kind of a future you want to create. You just don't want to create a future which is limited. I'll give you one example. There was one brother and he came and he was into bodybuilding, and he told me that I'm taking heavy steroids. So I told him, why are you doing that? That's damaging your physique and your body. So he said, even if I die, no problem, but I'll die after getting the title of, this pageant. So I'm preparing for a pageant, and and he told me that my body could even burst, like there could be cracks in the body with the kind of steroids I'm taking, but I just have to win this pageant, and then everybody will know. Even if I die, my parents will be known by my name, and I want that much. So I said, but this is such a this is such a limited way of thinking. So Baba says that now you don't think in such a limited way, not about this one pageant, this one birth, this one thing, but you think about what kind of thoughts I create, what actions I do, so that they can give me the return for the next whole kalpa. So Baba says, this is the kind of vision I have given you. So how do I use my body, mind, wealth, my time, thought, energy in such a way that I can create the whole next future for myself? And how do I ensure that my next 21 births are taken care of? So Baba says, this is how I've made you Trikaldarshi, and now you don't just think, you create very powerful conscious thoughts which create a certain future for you, and not only the near future, but the very distant future as well. Okay, Om Shanti.